We'd like to thank you for tuning in to the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Kathy Green, your co-host, in the studios with Joe Thomas.
That's
Welcome
right.
back.
Thank you, Kathy.
Jenny Thomas.
Thank you, Kathy.
Trusty sidekick. Here we are coming to you each and every week. We like to discuss different topics about your retirement, different concerns and questions that people bring up. Also, we wanted our listeners to know if there's any specific topic they might be interested in, go online to jupiterjoe.com. Jenny's done a fab job of putting our podcasts up there.
Right.
So each and every week, Joe and Jenny, you all research. I come in with my little bits and pieces about what's current, what is concerning you, and the challenges you face during your retirement. So, Joe, today, we're going to get right to the basics about annuities.
Yeah, we're going to use it for a reason because of the safety factor.
Okay.
And you know what we're finding, Kathy? People just want to know. You know, we get tons of emails, I'll be honest with you. And we just want, people just want to know, is my money safe at the bank? We were just talking about that off mic. Mm-hmm. Is my money safe in my 401k? Is the stock market going to crash? Will Social Security be there for me? When should I take Social Security? These are all questions that people want to know, and that's hopefully we can bring all of this to this show today and kind of touch on a little bit of everything.
Okay, so annuities and safety, why annuities are so safe?
Well, number one, they have something that banks don't have, and that's ratings. Banks have ratings that are a different kind of rating. Ratings with an insurance carrier are the claims paying ability. That means if somebody dies or if somebody's alive, how do they get their money back and how do they get their money as income? So that's the rating system. And with an insurance carrier, we're not allowed to take that money and just frivolously loan it out like a bank can. And that's what happened with the SVB Bank out in California. They loaned money out, they gave money away. We're not allowed to do that as insurers because the state of Florida regulates us and says, hey, you can't do this. You got to keep money in the bank.
So much money in reserve.
Correct. It's called
to
cash,
be able to pay any claims that might be filed to return the money.
That's
yes.
right. Cash reserves. It has to be there. If somebody wants their money, the money has to be at access all the time. They can't loan it out to a car loan like a bank can.
And they have amassed this money and clientele over centuries.
Exactly.
And that's the stability, I think, which is the main lure for me. Banks come and go nowadays. You know, your own bank has probably changed names 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
The collapse of some middle-level banks in the Midwest has caused me some concern.
Yeah.
We were talking off mic, off the radar in the news.
Yeah. No, nobody's talking about it.
It's still lurking around, though, so the safety of an annuity and what it can do for you as a financial product, this is the basis of it.
So look, here's what it comes down to, and I always talk about this. Probably your biggest asset is your home. Your second biggest asset is your 401k. So you insure your home with an insurance carrier. If the house burns down to the ground, you have insurance covering it, right?
Yes.
You have health insurance if you get sick to pay your claims, right?
Yes.
You have, what else, Jenny? Auto insurance. You hit somebody and there's a liability suit, you have insurance protecting you. So this is just insurance for your money. That's how an annuity works.
That's a great way to put it, Joe. I like that.
It is. It's protection.
And safety. What does safety even mean?
Yeah, it just means you're not going to lose your money. And now we're talking about, let's classify this here because I want to get down to the brass tacks. We're talking about 2 types of annuities, fixed and fixed index annuities.
Okay.
Variable annuities are a different kind of animal. We don't offer them, we don't sell them, even though I've been licensed for them since the 80s, we don't sell them, okay?
Because of the risk involved.
Well, the risk involved. They can lose money and the fees are extremely high. And I talk about that in my book. Jenny, didn't you have a question about that? About 401ks with using variable annuities or something like that? I can't remember.
Let me see.
Well, this is a good time for a break. We want you to know you're tuned into the Jupiter Joe Money Show. We come to you each and every week with topics concerning your retirement. Who is Joe Thomas? Well, his office is located right off PGA Boulevard in the Wells Fargo building. He's the author of a book, The Retirement Know-It-All. If you go online to jupiterjoe.com or pick up the phone and call 561-743-0999, you can get a copy of that book. Through that book, Joe does a great job of outlining information that you need to think about, starting with are your beneficiaries updated to ending with what is an annuity and how this financial product can help you. He's a 5-time member of the $1 Million Roundtable. What does that mean? You know what it means? Joe is the best at what he does. Only 1% of all financial advisors can say that. Joe, you've been family owned and operated in Palm Beach County for over 20 years.
Yeah, and then last year we added, a year before that, we added
Yeah.
Jenny to the mix, and she's bringing us
And
to
it's
the
been
new.
a wonderful addition
been
to our
fun.
high tech and some good energy here in the studios.
You know, unfortunately, everything's electronic today.
I'm not very good at that.
And us people that wear glasses, it's a different world. So we brought somebody newer and younger in that's going to help us with that. By the way, Jenny's getting fully licensed, so she'll be able to help clients. with that as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do that as well. But getting back to this stuff, you know, Kathy, I think what we found is that people just want answers to questions.
They do.
And they don't get it from their banks. They don't get it from their 401k plan administrators. They really don't.
And they don't get it from their stockbrokers.
No, they don't. I take the time to talk to anybody that's interested in talking with me. You know, when to take Social Security is a big deal. Now, it's my opinion of when to take it. I always say when we're doing these shows, take Social Security when you need income. It's pretty simple. If you need the income to live off of, take it.
Simplifies it.
If you don't need it, don't take it. Let it build
Because
up.
the longer you wait, 67, 73 up to now.
Well, that's on the RMDs, but on Social Security, 70 is the big number.
70 is the
70's
big
max number. But taking a pension option, we talked about a whole show about
That
pensions.
was
That was a
so
great show.
interesting last week.
Exactly. So when do you take your pension option?
And I've talked to many people at the school board who have already retired, had no idea that they didn't have to go through that and pay fees, that they could have cashed out
There
and
you
put
go.
it in their own annuity. So
You know, when to turn on income, how to turn on income with your 401k. Can your 401k even provide income? Did you know the fees are in those 401ks? You know, this is the kind of stuff we talk about. And why are we touching on a little bit of everything today? Because it's important, Kathy. It's important. People want answers out there. We get a ton of emails. I'd say the biggest question we get, Jenny, wouldn't it be about safety and risking their money?
Yeah. How do you know how safe or how risky your money is?
Yeah, two big
And
questions.
and outliving your money. That's another big
Outliving
one.
your money. And we have
oh,
products
that
there.
has been the number one question. Joe, you and I have been on the air for over a decade, and people, their greatest fear at we used to do live seminars
Right.
was, am I going to outlive my money? I don't want to be dependent upon my children. I'd like to leave assets to my kids.
How do you do that with a 401k? People don't know. People don't know how to get income. So, and they don't know they're being charged fees. You know, we had a meeting this morning, a business meeting, and the gentleman had watched our show or listened to our podcast on 401ks. He said, wow, I didn't even know there were fees. And then I started telling him about the revenue sharing. He goes, how is that legal? I'm like, it's legal, you know.
Yeah. People don't know.
So today's talk is about annuities and
Right.
protecting your assets. I think in this uncertain market, this global economy, the wars, the warming of the earth, whatever you want to call it,
Warming of the earth.
people are concerned. It's a natural process.
I got it.
And I'm not calling it you know what. But anyway, when it comes to annuities, as we started the show, the claims paying ability is how they rate them.
Correct.
And I'm sure people could go online and check. And
Yeah.
you have a list of different companies. AA rated, A plus, A.
We have all the ratings. You know, ratings aren't as important as what the company says they're going to do and
Okay.
the contract says they're going to do. Ratings are kind of, they're subliminal because clients come in and say, is this A plus rated? And I say, what does that mean? And they go, I don't know. There's 4 or 5 different rating companies.
Okay.
And insurance carriers pay those rating companies to rate them. And ratings can be
Oh.
very arbitrary. Some of them are right on and some of them aren't.
Like everything.
They like everything. And you need to know this stuff, and I do. So when I tell somebody about a rating, they really don't know.
Well, also you're an independent agent, so you're able to shop it around all the insurance companies. That's a big thing.
That's important. People have to understand that we work for the client. The people who call us, the people who we work for, we're shopping customers' needs, not our needs. So we'll show you the top 3 payouts. We'll show you the best interest rates. When I tell you we're going to get the best interest rates out there, we shop the best multi-year guarantee annuities with the highest ratings, and we'll tell you, here it is.
And another thing people should know is they don't pay a fee to you.
No, we're
I think
compensated.
that's big. They could get a free consultation and they don't pay a fee to you.
Correct. What were you going to say, Jenny?
So we have a lot of clients who are still working. They have their corporate job or wherever they work, and they have 401ks and other retirement plans. And I didn't know, but you can do an in-service rollover
Oh.
into an IRA, even while you're still working.
Mhm.
So do you think that's a good idea for some people?
I do. And again, you know, it depends on the plan. Some plans allow you to do one thing, some won't let you move your money. You know, there's certain companies out there, their 401k becomes available when the company tells them it's available.
They want to hold on to that money because
They
that's
do.
an asset to them.
Well, they're making money on your money.
So what does that mean, an in-service rollover, Jenny?
I don't know.
It just means that you're allowed to go from a 401k to an IRA within your plan. Because all roads lead to IRAs. If you have a 401k, a 403b, and you move the money to something that's you're gonna take care of it yourself, it's gonna become an individual retirement account.
So does this mean if the company has matching funds, that's why they're able to control your 401k, or?
No, just because the 401k is controllable by the people who set it up, and your company's the people who set it up, they control, they make the rules. That's
Interesting.
Well, I think a lot of people, they're working and they don't know that they can take some of their money out of that 401k
Right.
while they're working. I feel like people just think once you retire, that's when you can do all this stuff.
And we always say to the clients, it's not an all or nothing thing. I always say in my shows, we did this a million times literally, and we say, hey, look, put a percentage of your money in safety. We had a client come in, I don't know, a month ago or so, and they decided they were going to leave 30 or 40% of their money in the market, in their 401k, but they moved the other 60 or 70% to safety because they're concerned. They want to make sure they don't lose any money. They want to have a guaranteed income stream. They want to make sure they're getting a certain amount of interest. So we spread this particular client out, I remember specifically, into like 3 different annuities. Couple of fixed, couple of indexed, 1 or 2 that's going to be turning onto income later on.
And also, Joe, through the years, you have mentioned you could start with an investment
Of $10,000.
and then you see how you feel as you're getting to know
Yep.
you all, and as they're getting more comfortable with what an annuity is.
Yep.
Then as you do that, you don't have all your eggs in one basket. You're diversifying, which technically is what we all do.
It's important. Jenny, we were talking, this is funny. So we have a client we've mentioned a couple times on the show, Al Capola. So anybody can go read his review right now. He wrote for us. I asked him to come on, Kathy. You'll appreciate this. I said, Al, come on the show. You got to. He called me and said, hey, I just want to tell you what a great job you did. I'm so thankful that I've got this check coming in every month, blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, Al, why don't you come on? He says, I'm not going on the show, Jenny.
Oh, no.
I said, Kathy will make it so easy. Don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. He said, no, that's okay. I said, well, at least write a review so people know what's going on. So this guy came to me, and he was getting, I'll just make up a number because I don't know the exact numbers, but he was getting, let's say, if with his existing company, about $2,000 a month. And we ended up getting him about $2,800 a month.
Nice.
So he got 40% more income by making one phone call to us, Kathy. I can't make this stuff up. His review's on our website. You can look it up. The interesting thing is, Jenny was mentioning older annuities. Older annuities change. They evolve. They sit there and vegetate if you don't do anything with them. If you have an annuity that's 4 or 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, maybe 10 years old, it's time to look at what options you have. If you're going to turn it into income, we have better income options. Interest rates are up here. That means payments for your income is up here. We can increase your income just by moving out of one older annuity into another annuity, and there's no cost.
So you're making a lateral move, but it's going to benefit you.
Correct. So instead of you getting $1,500 a month, you might get $2,000 or $2,500 a month by moving from one insurance carrier to another. And there's no tax, there's no fees. I make a new commission because the company pays me. That's how I get paid from the insurance carrier. But I'm doing a service to you. Okay?
All right. So if you're not motivated as our listeners, Kathy Green, your co-host in the studios with Jenny Thomas and Joe Thomas, you've got to tune to the Jupiter Joe Money Show. We come to you each and every week discussing different topics and challenges that you face for your retirement. Joe is a retirement expert. He's the author of a book, The Retirement Know-It-All. Go to jupiterjoe.com. Jenny, you've made it so easy for our listeners to make appointments.
Super easy. Book an appointment. You can check out our calendar. We have phone appointments and office appointments, and we're open after 5 o'clock.
Also, Joe, you all are offering ebooks on the Retirement Know-It-All, a little tongue-in-cheek, because ever since we started the show, you've been discussing how people will listen to the janitor, the secretary, the mechanic, the next-door neighbor on critical retirement decisions that with a little bit of effort that they could make better decisions themselves.
Yeah, and the less, I put in my book, the less mistakes you make, the more money you're going to have. It's that simple. This is the reason everybody's not rich and wealthy, is because they make mistakes or they don't take advantage of what they can take advantage, like tax laws. The rich use tax laws to their advantage. You know why? Not because they know about them, but because their advisors advise them about them. It's directly correlation, okay? What were we going to say, Jenny?
Well, when I was reading your book, one of my favorite sections is the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right. All about annuities.
Right. And the bad you consider is the variable annuity. And
Right.
that's exactly what Al had,
Oh, he
a
had a variable, that's right.
annuity.
That's
and
right.
then he got guaranteed income and 40% more income monthly, and a rider in case he gets disabled, you have that rider.
So that's a good segue into helping to go through with our listeners what's a fixed annuity and what's a fixed index annuity.
So let's start with the variable because we're talking about variables.
Okay.
So a variable annuity is basically an investment in an insurance company, and it's called an annuity, but it's directly, you can lose money directly with the market because they're investing in sub-accounts. And those sub-accounts are mutual funds basically, and mutual funds go up and down, and so do variable annuities go up and down. So if you have a variable annuity, you can lose money. And also the fees are astronomical. They're 3.5% to 4%.
So what is the lure of the gain of that? It's the thrill of the chase.
So they've reinvented variable annuities to now include a income rider. So you put all your money in the market, take a risk of losing your money, but they have an income rider attached to it that guarantees you a certain amount of money. But what the agent or the brokers don't tell you is that you can still lose money.
Yeah.
Sometimes my clients I've had come in, they have more death benefit than they do living value because the market had gone up and up and they lock in, but then the market goes down. So your death benefit is higher than your cash value. That means you're losing money if you ever want to cash in. Some people are stuck, they can't move. I have a client right now, can't get out of it. He's got like $800,000 in death value, but his cash value is only $400,000.
Well, that doesn't sound very optimistic.
No,
either.
so stay away from variable annuities in my opinion, and I've been only doing, we've been licensed to sell variable annuities since 1982 as a kid, 22, I knew nothing, okay? And variable annuities are a very tricky product. The brokers sell them because they pay higher commissions than they do selling stocks. That's why they sell them. We don't sell them, we don't offer them. So we do fixed. Fixed means that it's locked in for a certain amount of time. 3 years fixed, 5 years fixed, just like a CD at a bank.
Okay.
And you get a fixed rate like 5.5% or 6% fixed, locked in. Or we do fixed index where you can't lose your principal and it's tied to the market. If the market goes up, your money goes up. If the market goes down, you stay where you were. Now, I'm simplifying this stuff, right, Kathy?
Yes.
There are surrender charges with annuities. That's the biggest problem that...
Just like with the money market or anything else.
Everything has a fee, everything has a charge. You have to know about it. When you're in front of me, we disclose everything. We show you how it works. And I tell people, don't cash the product in early and you'll never have a fee. People say, well, how can I not have a fee? You will not have a fee if you don't cash in the product early. Unless it has an income rider fee, that's a different charge. So we disclose all this when we're in front of the client and we show them exactly what they're getting. Go ahead, Jenny.
Yeah. Well, I read something else in your book. Many clients who own an annuity, they find that they can leverage the money they leave to their family by using the income from their annuity to pay for life insurance.
Yeah, so if you have an older annuity and you're not utilizing it, you're not going to use it for income, and there are people out there, Kathy, that don't need income, right? Okay, just let me put it that way. They have assets, and they don't need the income that's generated either from their RMDs or their annuities.
Okay.
So what I tell them to do is take that money that they have to utilize and buy life insurance with it. Why? Because life insurance transfers tax-free to their family. So they might be able to increase their assets from, say, $1 million to $2 million. But the extra $1 million is 100% tax-free.
And this is why the wealthy
Wealthy.
Yeah, because they understand how to transfer those assets.
Yep.
Let's talk about today being Wednesday is an important day for the Federal Reserve.
Right.
So they're looking to pass, is the general consensus, but you never know. And a lot of people are investing in short-term 18-month CDs and money market accounts.
Right.
But of course, as we know, the Fed can change at any time to raise or lower rates. An annuity gives you a different option of safety.
So we've been talking about this. Lock in your rates longer. This is temporary. When you see that your money market or your checking account or whatever you have at the bank, they'll say, we're giving you a sweet deal. You're going to get 6 months interest at 5.5%. That sounds great. But what happens in 6 months or 12 months? The rates are going to go down eventually. So when you lock in a rate with us, you can lock in a rate for 1 year up to 10 years. And what that does for you is it secures your future and guarantees you a specific amount of income and interest that you don't have to worry about. So there's things that we do with this, Kathy.
All right, so Jenny, you said people feel so relieved after they come in and make an appointment with Retirement Network Advisors.
Definitely. It's a little light bulb that goes off that I think they get a lot of their questions answered, and it kind of starts making sense. Even after the first appointment, a lot of our clients come back the second or third time and really start going.
Yeah, and that's important. I always talked about this many times. This stuff has to be right for the client too. Once in a while, we have a client come in and I'll say to them, look, this isn't right for you. Very rarely, but once in a while, someone come in, they're talking about the stock market and talking about how they made so much money buying XYZ stock. They'll say, you know what, this isn't for you. They say, why? Why isn't it? Well, because you like to gamble. This isn't about gambling. This is about just the opposite. This is about keeping your money safer. And, it's funny, Jenny and I have been getting into this a lot more now that she's learning the business, and she's understanding that some clients have a fear of change, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they find it hard to believe. They've been in the market their whole life, or they've been in this 401k their whole career, and they go, how come this Jupiter Joe guy's talking about how I can protect my money when my 401k isn't?
Right.
And how come he can guarantee an interest rate and my bank can't? Well, because these are different things and they do different things. And we have to explain to people, this is the way it is. It isn't some Ponzi scam. This is reality. But
This is an actual financial product.
This is how it works. This is who we deal with. The largest financial companies in the world are insurance carriers, and we deal with all of them, Kathy.
And also, Joe, you always make a good point. If you retire, if you win the lottery, those are actually paid by annuities too.
Right,
So
your
it's
pension
not
plan.
such a foreign thought.
Right.
Yeah, people-
Annuities are everywhere. You just don't understand them.
Yeah, they just don't equate it with. They get a pension plan, and they go, oh, I got my pension. The word pension means annuity. But they don't understand that. Go ahead, Jenny.
Well, I think a lot of people are loyal to the company that they work for. They think that they have a 401k, it's doing everything that it can do, and they're just going to leave it there. But they don't, even their pension, they
A
don't realize that there's
misplaced
other
loyalty,
options.
I might add.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've had clients call, or prospective clients call and say, my 401k is not charging me a fee. And I go, really? Well, go ahead and request the fees. And I had one lady who called me. She said, "You're right. They're charging me $6,000 a year. And by the way, your company, even if it's one person like a dentist or a doctor's office, he's getting $3,000 of your $6,000 because they revenue share the fees." Now, look, insurance companies and annuities aren't the perfect investment. I've said this many, many times on the show. That means that they do things that other stuff doesn't. But some things I always tell clients, put some money in the market, put some money in annuities, put some money in gold, put some money wherever you want to make that plan. Now, Jenny always says, listen, Dad, this isn't a plan. Your 401k is a plan.
Mm-hmm.
With us, you get a plan of action. What does that mean? It means we're figuring out how to get your money as income for the rest of your life, how to transfer your money to your kids, how to transfer your money to your spouse in the most tax efficient way. This is a plan of action, not a plan.
That's good, and it puts the decisions in your hands.
right.
Oh, yeah.
And who doesn't want that? You always say money costs money.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to find these hidden fees and agendas, which is commonplace the way it goes on. It's not a nefarious scheme, but this is the way it's been done for a long time. If you're just joining us, thanks for tuning in. Kathy Green behind the mic, Jenny Thomas, Joe Thomas. You've got to turn to the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Each and every week we come to you. We're reaching out to you. If you're listening to True Oldies, not only do you have good taste in music, but you're probably looking to retire.
That's right.
So we're calling all of our postal workers, civil servants, our cops, our nurses, Palm Beach County, Martin County.
Yeah. Anybody's got a job.
All right, and if
You know?
you're listening to this, you're probably thinking about steps to take to retirement.
Right.
And an expert like Joe Thomas is going to make those steps easy. Jenny, when they phone, they don't go to a phone bank. They go directly to you and Joe.
Right. We personally answer the phone calls. We personally answer emails. We're available for you.
All right. It's the beauty of family owned and operated, been doing business for over 20 years, located right off PGA Boulevard. Pick up the phone, go online, jupiterjoe.com. You can make yourself an appointment. Be sure to check out past broadcasts. Listen to what we're talking about on the podcast series. And we might have some exciting news coming up, but we won't spill the beans today, huh,
That's
Joe?
right. That's right.
Okay. All right. Today.
One other thing I want to mention is asset protection with annuities. A lot
Okay.
of people don't realize that asset protection in the state of Florida, if you have an annuity, it's considered a retirement plan. So your money's protected, and lawyers even will recommend that you can put money in annuities to protect your assets because the state of Florida considers it a protected asset. You can look up the subsection is 222.14 of the Florida statutes. The Florida law specifically exempts annuities from the collection by judgment of creditors. So if you're being sued, you have creditor problems, credit card debt, and you're going to file bankruptcy, your money's protected in annuities because it's a retirement plan. Your IRA is protected the same way. So when we talk about this stuff, the use of an annuity, how you use them is what's important. Is it for growth? Is it for income? Is it to pass assets? Is it to protect assets? Is it to make sure your family who you want get the money so it's incontestable? Right,
And
Jenny?
access to your money.
And
That was a
access to
big
your
thing
money.
for me.
So it's what the uses of the annuity, how we use it. Now I can guarantee you can't do this with many other financial products. I'm not going to go into detail why you can't. Just take my word for it, you can't. Okay?
Okay, so as we talk about protecting your assets with annuities, we're just sort of opening the door for you if you want to find a safe way to set the rate and protect your money. Joe, I've always loved the formula. If you're 60 years of age, 60% of your money should be safe.
Yeah, the older you get, the safer you want your money. Now, if you have the wherewithal, you have a lot of money, well, heck, you can go say, I'm going to be 80% risky. Some people buy in the downturn market. There's opportunity. I'm not going to lie to you and say there's no opportunity. There is opportunity in the market to buy in a downturn market.
Takes money to make money.
But my clients that are in their 70s or early 60s and mid 60s, they want to make sure their money's going to be there in the next 6, 12, 18 months for income to live on.
I think you have the same philosophy.
I have the
too.
same philosophy. Most of my money is safe and secure in annuities. And I show clients what we have. We have 3 or 4 different annuities. Some are going to provide income. Some are providing safety. It just depends. So here what I tell everybody. Give us an opportunity to earn your business. Let us show you what we know. Give us a call, 561-743-0999. Get a copy of my book. Jenny will send you the PDF.
All right, this is Kathy Green. We want to thank you for tuning in to the Jupiter Joe Money Show. Go online, make your appointment at jupiterjoe.com. Check out our previous podcast, and we'll see you back here real soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Good one.